The Renaissance led directly to the age of exploration and commercial revolution. It was filled with important people, new technologies, and journeys that discovered new land and trade routes that led to the modern era. The main factors that caused the age of exploration were population growth, inflation, and the rise of power of the kings. Ferdinand Magellan was one of those men, circumnavigating the earth. Vasco da Gama, Galileo, Prince Henry, Marco Polo, Columbus, and many more recognizable sailors. All of these men, although could not do it alone, this would not have been possible with the technology including compasses, astrolabes, caravels, and weapons to fight off pirates out at sea. The economy boosted during this era due to the trade between Europe and Asia, and the discovering of the West Indies as well as the Americas. The caravel was a great accomplishment and success towards the European age of exploration. The origin comes from the shipbuilding term "carvel", which is a method of butting the planking on the hull so that the planks form a tight, smooth surface. The early caravels had triangle sails and were very maneuverable, and could store many things under the ship and go as far in the ocean as it wanted to. Caravels discovered America and sailed as far around Africa as China. Portuguese ships carried Jesuits to new missionary territory and brought back many unique tales and trade goods. The use of the compass allowed navigators to determine direction. The sextant can measure the angle of an astral body from the horizon. This allowed navigators to travel with ease and never doubt themselves if they were going the wrong way or were left stranded not knowing where to go. The astrolabe helped navigators know where they were in relation to the equator through the stars, sky, and sun. These two instruments were the most beneficial in helping sailors travel by sea. Around the same period, the Spanish exploration of the New World had gone underway. Isabella of Castile and Ferdinand of Aragon united through matrimony and rule, determined to reconquer land gone astray to Muslim expansion. The subsequent wars became known as the Reconquista. These wars absorbed tremendous resources from Spain, so that while Portugal was exploring the coast of Africa, her neighbor was fighting battles. When the Spaniards were fighting the natives, cannons came into place, becoming one of the most effective weapons on board. Historians refer the Age of Discovery as the Portuguese and Spanish long-distance nautical travels and looked for alternative trade routes to the Indies by the trade of silver, gold, and spices. Numerous nations were in look for goods such as gold and silver, but one of the prime reasons for exploration was the craving to find a new route for the silk and spice trades. When the Ottoman Empire took control of Constantinople in 1453, it blocked European entree to the area, limiting trade. In addition, it also blocked contact to North Africa and the Red Sea, two significant trade routes to the Far East. The first of the journeys associated with the Age of Discovery were carried out by the Portuguese below Prince Henry the Navigator. These expeditions were different than those formerly conducted by the Portuguese, because they enclosed a superior area. Sailors relied on portolan charts, which are maps created for navigators based off land features. These charts relied on the capability to see land. The voyages preceding to those conducted by Prince Henry were sailed along the coastline. Prince Henry helped many novice sailors as well. He created a school called Sagres for navigators and map makers. The age of exploration came to a halt in the early 17th century after the technological advancements and increased knowledge of the world permitted Europeans to journey across the world by sea. Methods of navigation and mapping also enhanced as a result of the travels. In addition, the settlements along the coast of the newly found areas created a network of trade and communication, ending the necessity to ascertain trade routes.
The age of discovery in the 15th century was caused by a number of factors. I mean, everything from population growth to inflation to the rising power of the kings. But you couldn't have had this age of exploration and the commercial revolution that went along with it if there hadn't been changes in sailing technology. prior to this time period, ships had to hug the coastline because there was no way to navigate themselves out into the open seas. And the way that the sails were used and arranged on the ships made it very inefficient and very difficult to take advantage of the way the winds were blowing. So if you hadn't had these developments in sailing technology that occurred in the 1400s and then spilling over into the 1500s, you wouldn't have had the age of exploration, you wouldn't have had the commercial revolution, and the groundwork for the modern world's economy wouldn't be laid. To do with what went on in the country of Portugal, and it also went on, had a lot of it had to do with what Muslim scholars had done in Spain in the years leading up to the 1400s. That laid like the scientific and the academic groundwork for the navigational changes that occurred.